Hello, everyone, and welcome to English Pod. My name is Marco.
My name is Catherine, and today we are here with an advanced level lesson. That means that we're going to listen to a pretty long and exciting dialogue, and then we'll talk a little bit about what you've heard and some of these cool, interesting phrases.
That's right. Today we have a lesson about planning a crime. We're planning a bank robbery.
Ooh, my favorite. There have been lots of movies about this topic, very fun movies in from the beginning of movie making till now. It's a very popular topic.
That's right. And on this occasion, as Catherine said, it's a nice, fun dialogue, and we're going to have a lot of colloquial terms. So maybe you won't really understand a couple of different phrases because they're very colloquial. They're very American terms, and the accents are also they're a little bit from like Boston, kind of like New Jersey maybe or something.
Right. So keep an ear out for some of these strange or unusual phrases. We will be talking about them in a moment. But don't worry, if you don't understand this dialogue the first time, you'll be hearing it again later.
All right. Let's run through this one more time from the top. I will be positioned here, across from the bank on this park bench. Now, according to the intel we got from Jimmy...
Oh, who's Jimmy?
Geez, Ralph, pay attention, will ya? Jimmy's our mole, you know? The guy on the inside. He's been snooping and passing on the info to us so we can pull this heist off.
Yeah, Ralph, clean the mothballs out of your ears and listen up. This here is important. We don't want to end up back in the slammer, do ya? Your role is pretty important here. We're depending on you, man.
Okay, I'm listening. Mothballs.
Alrighty then. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay. So I'll be on the lookout, sitting here on the bench across from the bank. Nobody moves until I give the go-ahead, alright? And what's the go-ahead, Ralph?
Oh yeah, you'll take off your hat and scratch your head.
Right. When I take my hat off and scratch my head, you do what?
I get in the box.
Right, you get in the box. I'll make sure it's all sealed, and then posing as the delivery guy, I'll drop off a special package for the manager. Now, according to Jimmy, the bank manager is leaving early on Tuesday 'cause it's his wedding anniversary. He and the wife are having a romantic rendezvous in the country, so any packages delivered will be left unopened in his office until he gets back late on Wednesday.
Which gives us access to his office for at least 12 hours. Okay, Ralph, this is where you come in. Where are you?
I'm standing right next to you, Sammy. Oh, sorry, Sam. I'm in the box, right here, in that box.
And what do you do once I deliver you to the manager's office?
I stay in the box until the bank is closed. And then I get out of the box.
And then, what next, Ralph? Oh, for Pete's sake, this is never going to work.
Hey, give me a chance here, fellas. I crack the safe and then I take the money. And then I get back in the box.
Attaboy, Ralph. In the morning, I come back to the bank, say there's been a mix-up with the delivery I made, and take the special package back here.
All right, let's get some sleep. It's a big day tomorrow, fellas.
A perfect plan, Sammy. It went off without a hitch.
Let's open this up and get Ralph out of here so we can start counting the money.
Phew, I sure am glad to see you guys. I was sure getting lonely with no one to talk.
That's nice. Okay, how much?
Really? Really glad.
Money, Ralph, money!
Oh, man. I knew I forgot something. Damn it.
All right, we're back. So, obviously this guy Ralph, I don't know why, always the one robber whose name is Ralph is not very clever.
No, it doesn't mean that Ralphs are generally not smart people,
Right.
but yeah, I think you're right. There's usually...
Yeah, like in bank robberies or something, like, for example, in the old movies, always Ralph was the one that was messing things up.
Oh, Ralph. Well, let's find out what Ralph screwed up today. First of all, we've got the guys, Sammy, Ralph, and Frankie, who are talking about the plan.
Right.
Okay. And, Sammy mentions that he had the intel from Jimmy.
Okay. So when we talk about intel, we're talking about information, right?
That's right. So intel is a word that's short for intelligence or facts or information.
That's right. So you can talk about intelligence as maybe you're very smart, you're very intelligent. But when we talk about intelligence, we talk about gathering information in order to help us accomplish an objective.
For example, in movies about the CIA, we often hear them talk about gathering intel. That means collecting facts.
Right. Very good. So, they had intel from Jimmy about the bank and the layout. And, well, they were like, who's Jimmy? And Sammy says that, well, he's our mole, the guy on the inside.
A mole. So a mole is an animal.
Right.
But in cases of intelligence, or maybe in this case, a bank robbery, spying, a mole is a person who's basically stealing information. So, for example, if I work in the CIA, but I'm selling information from the CIA to the French government, I'm a mole.
Right. So you're basically like a spy.
Yes.
You're a person on the inside, and that's what they mean when he says he's our guy on the inside. You're inside the enemy's territory, or you're inside their organization.
Exactly. So, for example, have you seen the show 24? Yeah, with Jack Bauer. Well, they often have this problem of moles inside the organization. So maybe the terrorists have a guy on the inside.
That's right.
He's a mole.
So they have somebody that has penetrated their organization.
Exactly.
Okay. So they talk about the mole and how they are going to pull this heist off.
Okay. So the phrase here is to pull off a heist. First of all, what's a heist?
Well, a heist is a robbery, is basically a robbery.
Yeah, it's another word for robbery. So
it's kind of old though. You don't really say it anymore, right?
No, you can say it's a heist movie, or it's a movie about a heist. It's almost like a genre.
Yeah.
There's a basic storyline where they plan the robbery, they do the robbery, something goes wrong, what's going to happen? So that's a heist.
Very good. So a heist is something that was planned out.
Yes.
Like a robbery that's planned out. It's not really if you come up to someone and say, give me your wallet. That's not really a heist.
No, that's a stick up.
Right.
But a heist is something that you pull off. So to pull off is to succeed.
To accomplish.
So I pulled it off. I was able to do it.
So you pulled off the heist. Very good. And well, they were talking about if they do it, they don't want to get caught because they don't want to go back to the slammer.
Oh, the slammer. Yeah, well, I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to go to the slammer either.
So what is the slammer?
The slammer. The big house.
Right. Lockup, the slammer, the big house. All these are colloquial synonyms for prison, jail.
Jail. So normally we say prison or jail, like it's a maximum security prison, like Prison Break, the TV show.
Right.
But in colloquial English, we often say slammer.
Okay. The slammer or the big house. Okay. So, they were talking that they don't want to go back to the slammer. And now when they were actually planning out the crime, he says, well, you wait until I give you the go ahead.
Okay. So this is the plan. He's going to wait for a sign. The go ahead means a sign that indicates that it's time to do something. Okay. So for example, in this case, what is that sign?
The sign or the go ahead is he'll take off his hat and scratch his head.
Okay. So that's a sign that means it's okay to proceed. It's okay to continue.
Right.
So you can also say, okay, when we're ready to go, Marco, I'll give you the go ahead. Okay. Just wait for me to wave.
Okay. Very good. So that's the go ahead, the signal.
Exactly.
All right. Very good. Now moving on, we have a French word here, but that's used very commonly in English. And, they said, okay, we have a rendezvous.
Okay. So a rendezvous is a meetup or a time or place where people are connecting together. So for example, in a heist, you could say, we're going to rob the bank and then we will rendezvous at our favorite restaurant in 2 hours.
Okay. So rendezvous is to meet up, to get together.
Right. But in this case, they're talking about a romantic rendezvous. So this means a trip with a lover.
So it's a little bit different, right? He and his wife are having a romantic rendezvous in the country.
Okay. That means that they're going to have a romantic meeting.
Okay. Very good. And, now this next phrase is very, very interesting. It's very common to hear it as well. I think like moms say it a lot. Oh, for Pete's sake.
Oh, for Pete's sake. Well, I don't know who Pete is, honestly. But this means, my gosh, or come on, or, oh, I'm so tired of this.
So you're a little bit exasperated. Maybe you're a little bit irritated.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for Pete's sake, Marco, stop giving me examples. I'm done hearing them. Yeah.
So there are a lot of other ways to say this, right?
Yeah. So you could say, for goodness sake.
For goodness sake. Or, oh, for heaven's sake.
For heaven's sake. And finally, for God's sake.
Right.
But this one you have to be careful because some people who are religious might be offended if you use it.
So if that's the case, then you would just rather go with Pete's sake, heaven's sake, or goodness sake.
Okay, for goodness sake.
It's a very common phrase, and as you say, it's for when you're a little bit irritated. It's like, oh, for goodness sake, stop complaining.
Exactly.
Right? Okay. And now for our last word. You may have seen the word fellas. Fellas.
Fellas. So this comes from the word fellow, person, man. But oftentimes in these kind of movies or stories about heists or, crimes, the men talk to each other using the word fella or fellas. So come on, fellas, let's go.
That means come on, guys, come on, everyone.
Okay. Yeah. So this is always about men. Not like a group of women would use this.
Right.
And it's something that's a little bit older. We don't really say this like, oh, me and my fellas, we're going to go to the store. You would say this more in old time English.
Yeah, you can see it maybe in some movies when somebody comes up and greets other people, other guys. He would say, hey, fellas.
Exactly. Or there's a mafia movie. It's about the American mafia called Goodfellas.
Very good.
That's a very famous one. So it kind of gives you that feeling of an older English, like the 1940s to the 1970s.
Okay. Very good. A lot of interesting things going on in this bank robbery. Why don't we go back, listen to the dialogue one last time, and we'll be back in a little bit. All right, let's run through this one more time from the top. I will be positioned here, across from the bank on this park bench. Now, according to the intel we got from Jimmy...
Oh, who's Jimmy?
Geez, Ralph, pay attention, will ya? Jimmy's our mole, you know? The guy on the inside. He's been snooping and passing on the info to us so we can pull this heist off.
Yeah, Ralph, clean the mothballs out of your ears and listen up. This here is important. We don't want to end up back in the slammer, do ya? Your role is pretty important here. We're dependent on you, man.
Okay, I'm listening. Mothballs.
Alrighty then. Where was I? Oh yeah, okay. So I'll be on the lookout, sitting here on the bench across from the bank. Nobody moves until I give the go-ahead, alright? And what's the go-ahead, Ralph?
Oh yeah, you'll take off your hat and scratch your head.
Right. When I take my hat off and scratch my head, you do what?
I get in the box.
Right, you get in the box. I'll make sure it's all sealed, and then posing as the delivery guy, I'll drop off a special package for the manager. Now, according to Jimmy, the bank manager is leaving early on Tuesday 'cause it's his wedding anniversary. He and the wife are having a romantic rendezvous in the country, so any packages delivered will be left unopened in his office until he gets back late on Wednesday.
Which gives us access to his office for at least 12 hours. Okay, Ralph, this is where you come in. Where are you?
I'm standing right next to you, Sammy. Oh, sorry, Sam. I'm in the box, right here, in that box.
And what do you do once I deliver you to the manager's office?
I stay in the box until the bank is closed. And then I get out of the box.
And then... what next, Ralph? Oh, for Pete's sake, this is never going to work.
Hey, give me a chance here, fellas. I crack the safe and then I take the money. And then I get back in the box.
Attaboy, Ralph. In the morning, I come back to the bank, say there's been a mix-up with the delivery I made, and take the special package back here.
All right, let's get some sleep. It's a big day tomorrow, fellas.
A perfect plan, Sammy. It went off without a hitch.
Let's open this up and get Ralph out of here so we can start counting the money.
Phew, I sure am glad to see you guys. I was sure getting lonely with no one to talk.
That's nice. Okay, how much?
Really? Really glad.
Money, Ralph, money!
Oh, man. I knew I forgot something. Damn it.
Okay, so someone proclaimed at the end of the dialogue that everything went off without a hitch.
Mm-hmm.
Is this true?
No. What does it mean if something went without a hitch?
It went off without a hitch means there was not even one problem. It went perfectly.
Smoothly,
yes.
okay.
And it didn't because, well, these robbers didn't actually rob anyone.
Right, he forgot to get the money.
Right, so he's kind of an idiot.
Right. But there are actually a lot of good movies. I think the most recent one about bank robberies is Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13.
Yeah, that's right. Those are all about big heists.
Big heists. And I think they mentioned the word heist a couple of times in that movie.
Yeah, definitely. So there was a movie with Clive Owen a few years ago called The Inside Man that was maybe one of the best heist movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, that was a really good movie. Yeah. I think also Swordfish was a pretty good movie with John Travolta.
Yeah, I remember that one too.
Yeah, I like it when the bad guys win. You know, cause it's a little bit more interesting.
Yeah, I guess you could say that.
But I don't think the public likes this.
Well, in The Inside Man, the bad guy is kind of a good guy, but he wins. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah. So, but it's a very interesting topic, and I don't know. I haven't really heard of many bank robberies nowadays anymore.
Not so much. I think security in banks is pretty good, but I'd be very curious to hear from our users if they have any favorite heist stories or movies, real or fake. Both are okay.
The English Pod audio review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word.
Rehearse quickly. Run through. Pry into the private affairs of others. Snoop. Out of. Outta. A prison or jail. Slammer. Short for intelligence, information, or instructions. Intel. Person who watches and warns if there is danger. Lookout. Permission to do something. Go ahead. A meeting planned at a certain time and place. Rendezvous. Mistake, an unforeseen obstacle. Hitch. A phrase used to express frustration. For Pete's sake.
Let's try that faster.
Pry into the private affairs of others. Snoop. A meeting planned at a certain time and place. Rendezvous. A phrase used to express frustration. For Pete's sake. Rehearse quickly. Run through. Person who watches and warns if there is danger. Lookout. Permission to do something. Go ahead. A prison or jail. Slammer. Mistake, an unforeseen obstacle. Hitch. Short for intelligence, information, or instructions. Intel. Out of. Outta.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Run through. Let's run through the English lesson one more time. Run through. He must run through his lines for the play again. Run through. The computer must run through all the codes before processing information. Slammer. After he was caught robbing the store, he was thrown into the slammer. Slammer. The slammer is not for the weak-hearted. Slammer. She visits her husband in the slammer every weekend. Intel. The intel suggests he is a very dangerous man. Intel. His intel was wrong. She is not at home. Intel. The boss's intel is always detailed and correct. Rendezvous. The rendezvous point is at the north end of the beach. Rendezvous. Every year they rendezvous in Paris, France. Rendezvous. We must change the rendezvous. The cops are on to our plans. For Pete's sake. Oh, for Pete's sake, stop changing the channel so much. For Pete's sake. My phone fell into the toilet. Oh, for Pete's sake. For Pete's sake. Oh, for Pete's sake, must you take so long to get ready?
Hello, English learners. Welcome back to English Pod. My name is Marco.
And I'm Erica.
And today we have another romantic lesson. Kind of romantic.
A little romantic. We got a boyfriend and a girlfriend and they're apologizing to each other.
Okay, so it's a very common situation and we're going to be talking about love. We're also going to talk about different pet names that are commonly used in English.
That are used with your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Okay, very good. So let's listen to this dialogue for the first time and see what's happening with our couple.
Can we talk?
Sure, honey. We're talking now, aren't we?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I want to know where this relationship is going. I'm in love with you, and I need to know...
You know, I think you're awesome.
I'm awesome. Well, I guess that's my answer, isn't it?
Honey.
Look, if you don't love me, it's not a thing, all right? We've had our laughs, but I don't appreciate... Well, maybe it's just time we...
Baby, I love you so much.
You do?
I love you, and I think you're awesome.
Oh, I love you too.
Come on, put the gun down.
Oh, baby, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so romantic and dramatic.
Yeah, I think she really needed to hear that. Right, so I think she really wanted to hear, I love you.
Yeah, that's right. And there's some interesting phrases here in this dialogue. And today we're going to focus mostly on phrases. So why don't we start with Fluency Builder?
Fluency Builder.
Okay, on Fluency Builder today, we are going to take a look at some of these phrases. And the first one is very important and very different.
So obviously this dialogue is about love, and we heard two different ways that this word is used. And the first one is to love someone.
Right, so he said, I love you.
Yeah, I love you.
We all pretty much understand what that means.
Right, but they also mentioned to be in love with someone.
Okay, so he said, I am in love with you.
I'm in love with you.
In love.
Okay, so what's the difference between to love and to be in love?
To be in love with someone means that you have these strong romantic feelings towards somebody.
That's right. So, you can only be in love with your boyfriend, your girlfriend, your husband, or your wife.
So you can love your parents, you can love your family, but you can't be in love with them. You can only be in love with your girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, wife.
That's right.
Okay.
So moving on to the next phrase. Now, the girl asked her boyfriend, can we talk?
Can we talk?
Can we talk?
This is a very simple sentence.
Right. We know the meaning, right?
But why does she say, can we talk?
Okay. So you use this when you want to start a conversation about something serious.
Okay. So if you wanted to talk to me about my new shirt.
I wouldn't say, hey, Marco, can we talk? Oh, I really like your shirt. Where'd you get it?
Exactly, right?
It has to be serious.
It has to be serious. So usually if somebody says, hey, can we talk? It means that there's going to be a serious topic.
Yeah, it's going to be probably bad news.
Maybe bad news.
Yeah.
So can we talk? So if your boyfriend or girlfriend tells you this, well, it's not a good sign.
That's right.
All right. And the last phrase that we have on Fluency Builder, you know what I mean.
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 All right. So again, this phrase is very simple to understand, right?
That's right.
So you know what I'm talking about.
You understand me.
But the interesting thing is that we can also make it a question.
And it's all about the change in tone.
Okay, so with this in mind, let's listen to 2 examples of the same phrase, but with different tones. And you try to see which one is the question.
Example 1.
I'm tired of doing nothing all day here at home. You know what I mean?
Example 2.
Come on, Charles. You know what I mean when I say that I don't like your friends.
Example 3.
I hate this class. It's so boring and tedious. You know what I mean?
All right, so we heard the examples and, well, maybe you guessed it right. The second example was the question.
That's right. You know what I mean?
Right. So basically you're asking the person if they understand your idea or they understand what you're talking about. So maybe you can say, so the professor wasn't very clear on his instructions, so how was I supposed to do the homework? You know what I mean?
So you're asking me to confirm that I understand you.
My idea. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Okay. And if it was a statement, I might say, hey, I don't like going to your mom's house.
So I would say, what do you mean? Why?
You know what I mean.
Right. So I perfectly understand or know the reasons why you don't like going to my mom's house.
I don't have to tell you. You know what I mean.
All right. Very good. So you know what I mean. Great. So we've taken a look at these 4 phrases. They're very simple, but the way that you use them gives them different meanings.
That's right.
All right. So let's listen to our dialogue for the second time. Let's slow it down a little bit, and then we'll come back and look at some more phrases.
Can we talk?
Sure, honey. We're talking now, aren't we?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I want to know where this relationship is going. I'm in love with you, and I need to know.
You know, I think you're awesome.
I'm awesome. Well, I guess that's my answer, isn't it?
Honey.
Look, if you don't love me, it's not a thing, all right? We've had our laughs, but I don't appreciate, well, maybe it's just time we...
Baby, I love you so much.
You do?
I love you, and I think you're awesome.
Oh, I love you too.
Come on, put the gun down.
Oh, baby, I'm so sorry.
Okay, so now it's time for us to take a look at some more phrases, but this time we're going to look at them in putting it together.
Putting it together.
Okay, we're going to see how we can use these phrases in a few different situations. So the girl wanted to talk to her boyfriend because she wanted to know where this relationship is going.
Right. Where is this relationship going?
Where is this relationship going?
So she wants to know what's going to happen or
what's the future?
What's the future of this relationship?
Yep.
Are we going to get married? Or
Yep.
we just, what's happening?
Yep.
So why don't we listen to some examples with different nouns and how we can use this phrase?
Example 1.
I don't know where my career is going in this company. I don't see any potential for growth.
Example 2.
This movie is so confusing. I have no idea where the plot is going.
Example 3.
We have been in this meeting for over 2 hours and I still don't know where it's going.
Okay, so again, this phrase is just asking about the future of something.
Right. So where the future of this movie, where is this movie going?
Yeah, what's happening?
Right. What's going to happen?
Yep.
Or your career, etc.
Yep. Okay, and so the girl, she was talking a little bit about her feelings, and she said, maybe it's just time we...
Okay, so this phrase isn't complete yet.
Yeah.
We need to finish it.
Yeah.
but she is basically saying maybe we should do this. How can we finish the phrase?
All right. So she could say, maybe it's just time we break up.
All right. Or I can say, maybe it's time we have a baby.
Ooh, Marco.
All
or
right.
even, maybe it's time we go home.
Okay. So it's getting late. Let's go home. Maybe
Yep.
it's time we go home.
Yeah.
So this is how we can finish this phrase. And what about our last phrase?
So she also said, we've had our laughs.
Okay. So that means we've had our good times.
Yep.
Okay.
But we can change this to, we've had our ups and downs.
Okay. Or we've had our moments. Right? So that means we've had our good moments and our bad moments.
That's right. Or we've had our issues.
Okay. So that means we've had some problems.
Yeah.
We've had some difficulties.
Or even we've had our moments.
Okay. So that means we've had
Special times.
Yeah. So that means we've had our special times, special occasions that we will always remember.
That's right.
Okay.
So so 3 really useful structures that you can change the words a little bit to slightly change the meaning.
Okay. So it's time for us to listen to our dialogue for the last time. Now we're ready to understand everything. And then we'll come back and give you some examples of pet names in English.
Can we talk?
Sure, honey. We're talking now, aren't we?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know.
I want to know where this relationship is going. I'm in love with you, and I need to know.
You know, I think you're awesome.
I'm awesome. Well, I guess that's my answer, isn't it?
Honey.
Look, if you don't love me, it's not a thing, all right? We've had our laughs, but I don't appreciate, well, maybe it's just time we...
Baby, I love you so much.
You do?
I love you, and I think you're awesome.
Oh, I love you too.
Come on, put the gun down.
Oh, baby, I'm so sorry.
All right. Well, Marco, you mentioned this word pet names. And what exactly is that?
All right. So pet names aren't names for your dogs or your cats,
Okay. Right.
They are those sweet names that you would call your boyfriend or girlfriend.
Okay. So like baby.
Okay. In our dialogue, we heard baby.
Yep.
Right. So we're not talking about a little
child.
No.
Yep.
This is usually how you would call maybe your girlfriend or boyfriend, baby.
Or honey.
Honey, right?
Yep.
Hey, honey, or honey, I'm home.
Yep.
Right? But we also have other ones like sweetheart or
darling. Yeah.
Or what about sweetie or cutie?
Cutie. Oh.
So some of these phrases can be a little bit like cheesy, maybe
a little too sweet.
Too much.
Yeah.
Like smookums.
Snookums.
Snookums. Like snookums.
Okay.
Or honey bunny.
Oh, yeah.
We also have sweetie pie.
Yep.
Yeah. And some of them will make some up, right? Maybe they'll call their boyfriend, Pooh Bear.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, like Winnie the Pooh, Pooh Bear.
I heard dumpling is a common one.
Also, it could be, you can make up your own phrase. You can make up your own pet names, right?
Yeah. So I want to hear from our listeners. Are there any common pet names in your language?
I know that in Spanish, we sometimes call we can sometimes call our girlfriend gorda, which actually means fat, but it's not in a bad way.
Really?
It's a sweet way of calling your girlfriend. So.
And I know in French you can say ma puce, which basically means my flea.
Apologizing. The importance of apologizing. Apologizing is an important part of communication and relationships. Everyone makes mistakes, and sometimes our words or actions hurt others. When this happens, saying sorry helps to repair the situation. An apology shows that we understand what we did wrong, and that we care about the other person's feelings. Without apologies, misunderstandings and conflicts can grow, making relationships weaker. A sincere apology can bring people closer together. When someone apologizes, it shows that they take responsibility for their actions. It also helps to rebuild trust. If a friend forgets an important event, they can apologize and explain what happened. If a coworker makes a mistake at work, they can apologize and find a way to fix the problem. In families, apologies help parents, children, siblings, and relatives understand each other better. Apologizing is not just about saying the words, "I'm sorry." A real apology includes understanding, regret, and a promise to do better in the future. If someone is late for an important meeting, just saying sorry may not be enough. They need to explain why they were late and show that they respect the other person's time. A good apology includes both words and actions. In different cultures, the way people apologize can be different. In some places, people use very polite words and formal language when apologizing. In other places, people may apologize with simple words or a small gesture, like giving a gift or writing a note. No matter the culture, the meaning of an apology is the same. It is a way to show respect and care for others. For English learners, knowing how to apologize in different situations is very useful. There are many ways to say sorry. From formal expressions, like "I sincerely apologize," to casual ones, like "I'm really sorry." Learning how to apologize correctly helps in daily conversations, professional settings, and personal relationships. It makes communication smoother and helps avoid misunderstandings. A true apology is powerful. It can turn anger into understanding and repair broken relationships. When people apologize sincerely, they create a more positive and respectful environment. Whether in friendships, families, workplaces, or social situations, the ability to apologize well is an important skill for everyone. How to apologize sincerely. Apologizing is more than just saying the words, "I'm sorry." A sincere apology has several important parts. The first step is understanding what went wrong. Before apologizing, it is important to think about the situation. What happened? Why is the other person upset? If we do not understand our mistake, our apology may not feel real. A person who apologizes without understanding their mistake may sound insincere. After understanding the mistake, the next step is taking responsibility. A good apology is honest. Instead of making excuses, it is better to accept the mistake. For example, if someone forgot to call a friend on their birthday, they should not say, "I was busy," but "you should have reminded me." Instead, they should say, "I should have remembered your birthday. I feel bad for forgetting. I'm really sorry." Taking responsibility makes the apology stronger and more meaningful. A good apology also includes an expression of regret. Regret means feeling bad about what happened and showing that we care about the other person's feelings. Phrases like "I feel terrible about this," or "I regret hurting you" show that the apology is real. When we express regret, we help the other person see that we understand their feelings. This can make them more open to forgiving us. Another important part of an apology is offering to make things right. Sometimes saying sorry is not enough. If someone accidentally damages a friend's book, they can offer to replace it. If a coworker makes a mistake in a project, they can offer to fix the problem. Actions speak louder than words, and showing a willingness to correct a mistake proves that the apology is serious. A good apology also includes a promise to do better in the future. If someone is always late, saying sorry each time is not enough. They need to promise to change their behavior. They could say, "I know I have been late many times, and I will try harder to be on time." This shows that the apology is not just words, but also a commitment to improving. Tone and body language are also important when apologizing. If a person says sorry in a cold voice, it does not feel sincere. A good apology should be warm and genuine. Making eye contact, speaking in a soft tone, and showing concern through facial expressions can make the apology more believable. Writing an apology letter or sending a message can also be helpful, especially when emotions are too strong for a face-to-face conversation. Sometimes an apology is not accepted immediately. When people are hurt, they may need time to forgive. It is important to be patient. Instead of demanding forgiveness, it is better to say, "I understand if you are still upset, but I truly regret what happened." Giving the other person time and space can help them process their emotions and eventually accept the apology. In some situations, people apologize even when they are not at fault, just to maintain peace. This is common in workplaces, friendships, and relationships. However, apologizing should always be genuine. Saying sorry when we have not done anything wrong can sometimes create confusion or make us feel uncomfortable. A better way to handle such situations is to acknowledge the other person's feelings without admitting to a mistake that we did not make. Apologizing is a skill that improves with practice. By learning different ways to say sorry and understanding when and how to apologize, people can build stronger, healthier relationships. A sincere apology does not just repair a mistake, it also shows kindness, responsibility, and emotional intelligence. Whether in personal or professional life, knowing how to apologize well is an important part of effective communication. Apologizing between a boyfriend and a girlfriend. In romantic relationships, misunderstandings and mistakes happen. Even in the strongest relationships, couples argue, disagree, or accidentally hurt each other. Apologizing is an important part of maintaining a healthy and loving relationship. When a boyfriend and a girlfriend apologize to each other, it is not just about saying I'm sorry, but about understanding, trust, and emotional connection. In a relationship, emotions are often strong. When one person makes a mistake, the other might feel hurt, disappointed, or even angry. This is why apologizing in a romantic relationship can be more difficult than apologizing to a friend or a coworker. The apology needs to show care, love, and a real effort to make things better. Simply saying, "I'm sorry" without showing true regret may not be enough. One of the most important things in a relationship is communication. When a boyfriend and a girlfriend have a problem, they need to talk about it openly. Instead of just apologizing quickly to end an argument, they should take time to discuss what went wrong. Listening is just as important as speaking. If one person is hurt, the other should listen carefully and try to understand their feelings before apologizing. The words used in an apology matter. Saying "I'm sorry you feel that way" is not a real apology because it does not take responsibility. A better way to apologize is to say, "I realize that what I did hurt you, and I feel terrible about it. I never wanted to make you feel this way." This kind of apology shows understanding and care. It helps the other person feel heard and respected. Sometimes, actions are more powerful than words. In relationships, small gestures can help show sincerity. If a boyfriend forgets an important date, he can apologize and then plan something special to make it up. If a girlfriend says something hurtful, she can not only apologize, but also do something kind to show she truly cares. These actions help rebuild trust and strengthen the relationship. Apologizing should never be about winning or losing. Sometimes couples argue and both people feel hurt. In these situations, both should be willing to apologize. A relationship is not a competition. Both people should support each other. If only one person apologizes every time, the relationship can become unbalanced. Both partners should take responsibility for their actions and be willing to admit when they are wrong. Timing is also important. If one person is very upset, apologizing immediately may not work because emotions are too high. Giving the other person time to calm down can make the conversation more productive. A sincere apology given at the right time is more effective than a rushed apology given in the middle of an argument. Trust is an important part of any relationship. If one person keeps making the same mistake and apologizing without changing, their words lose meaning. A real apology should come with a promise to improve. For example, if a boyfriend always cancels plans at the last minute, he should not just say, "I'm sorry." He should also say, "I know I have done this before, and I will make sure it does not happen again." Showing that they are willing to change helps rebuild trust. In long-term relationships, small problems can become big issues if they are not addressed. This is why regular communication and sincere apologies are necessary. When couples apologize and forgive each other, they create a stronger bond. Apologizing does not mean weakness. It means caring about the relationship more than the argument. Love and respect are the foundation of a good relationship. Saying sorry is one way to show that love and respect. A sincere apology can heal wounds, bring people closer, and make the relationship even stronger. Every couple experiences challenges, but those who know how to apologize and forgive each other can build a relationship that lasts. The power of forgiveness and moving forward. Apologizing is only one part of the process. After an apology, the next step is forgiveness and moving forward. If an apology is sincere, it can help repair relationships, but forgiveness is what truly strengthens them. Holding on to anger, even after an apology, can create distance between people. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting the mistake or pretending it did not happen. It means choosing to let go of the pain and allowing the relationship to heal. Forgiving someone can be difficult, especially when the mistake is painful. Some apologies are easy to accept, like when a friend forgets to call or a coworker arrives late. But other mistakes, like betrayal, dishonesty, or repeated hurtful actions, are much harder to forgive. In these situations, time is necessary. The person who is hurt needs space to process their emotions before they can forgive. A forced or rushed forgiveness is not real and will not help the relationship in the long run. In a romantic relationship, forgiveness is especially important. Couples who stay together for a long time learn to forgive each other often. No one is perfect, and mistakes will happen. If a boyfriend and a girlfriend cannot forgive each other, small problems can turn into big ones. However, forgiveness should not be one-sided. If one person is always apologizing and the other never admits their mistakes, the relationship becomes unbalanced. Both people need to take responsibility when they are wrong. Trust plays a big role in forgiveness. If someone apologizes but keeps repeating the same mistake, their words lose meaning. Saying sorry is not enough if there is no change. If a girlfriend apologizes for not listening but continues to ignore her boyfriend's feelings, he may not believe her apologies anymore. If a boyfriend apologizes for breaking a promise but continues to do it, his girlfriend may feel like his words are empty. A real apology includes action. It means working to fix the problem so that it does not happen again. Forgiveness is also important in friendships. Friends argue, misunderstand each other, and sometimes say things they do not mean. A strong friendship is not one where no mistakes happen, but one where both people can apologize and forgive. Holding on to anger can destroy a friendship. A simple but sincere apology can bring two friends closer together. In families, forgiveness is also necessary. Parents and children, siblings, and relatives all have disagreements. Sometimes emotions are strong, and words are said in anger. Apologizing in a family can be difficult because people see each other every day, but an apology in a family can also be one of the most meaningful. It shows love and respect, even after a disagreement. A parent who apologizes to a child teaches them the importance of taking responsibility. A child who apologizes to their parents shows maturity. Forgiveness does not mean that everything goes back to normal immediately. Healing takes time. If someone is deeply hurt, they may need time to trust again. That is why a sincere apology should come with patience. It is important to allow the person who is hurt to process their emotions. Rushing forgiveness can make things worse. Sometimes people expect an apology but never receive one. Not everyone is willing to admit their mistakes. In these cases, forgiveness is still possible. Letting go of anger does not mean accepting bad behavior. It means choosing to move on for personal peace. Holding on to resentment only causes more pain. Choosing to forgive, even without an apology, can bring a sense of freedom and emotional healing. Learning how to apologize and forgive is a skill that improves over time. It helps build strong relationships, whether in friendships, families, or romantic partnerships. When people apologize sincerely and forgive genuinely, they create an environment of trust and understanding. Every relationship will face challenges, but those who learn to apologize and forgive will be able to overcome them. Apologizing and forgiving are acts of kindness, not just for the other person, but also for ourselves. A sincere apology can fix a broken relationship, and true forgiveness can heal a wounded heart. When people learn to say, "I'm sorry" with honesty, and "I forgive you" with sincerity, they build stronger connections and create a more positive and understanding world. Apologizing and forgiveness, a key to strong relationships. Apologizing is a fundamental part of human relationships, whether between friends, family members, or romantic partners. Knowing how to say sorry and how to accept an apology helps maintain and strengthen connections. However, apologizing is more than just saying the words, "I'm sorry." It requires sincerity, understanding, and often a change in behavior. A well-expressed apology can mend broken trust, ease tension, and bring people closer. Many people find apologizing difficult. Admitting a mistake can feel uncomfortable, especially when pride or fear of rejection is involved. However, taking responsibility for an action is a sign of maturity and emotional intelligence. A genuine apology should not include excuses or blame. Instead, it should focus on acknowledging the mistake, expressing regret, and making an effort to repair the damage. In relationships, whether romantic or otherwise, apologizing plays a crucial role. Couples who learn to apologize to each other build stronger and healthier relationships. Every relationship has conflicts, and misunderstandings are inevitable. However, when two people are willing to apologize and forgive, their bond becomes more resilient. Apologizing in a romantic relationship should be done with care, considering the feelings of the other person. Small conflicts can turn into big problems if they are not addressed with sincerity. A boyfriend who forgets an important date or a girlfriend who says something hurtful in anger should both be willing to say sorry in a meaningful way. An apology followed by a positive change in behavior shows that the person is truly sorry and values the relationship. Apologizing is also vital in friendships. Friends argue, disagree, and sometimes hurt each other unintentionally. A strong friendship does not mean never having problems. It means knowing how to resolve them. A sincere apology can prevent a small argument from destroying a friendship. True friends understand that mistakes happen, but taking responsibility for those mistakes shows respect and care for the relationship. Family relationships also benefit greatly from apologies. Parents and children, siblings, and relatives often experience conflicts, whether small or significant. Apologizing within a family can sometimes be difficult, especially when emotions are strong. However, an apology within a family carries deep meaning because it reassures love and respect. A parent who apologizes to a child teaches an important lesson about responsibility, and a child who apologizes to their parents demonstrates growth and maturity. Apologies in families help create a peaceful and understanding environment. While apologizing is essential, so is forgiveness. Without forgiveness, an apology loses its power. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting what happened or pretending it did not hurt. Instead, it means choosing to let go of anger and resentment. Forgiving someone can be challenging, especially when the mistake was painful. However, holding on to negative emotions can cause more harm than good. Letting go of past mistakes allows relationships to heal and move forward. Trust plays a crucial role in forgiveness. If someone repeatedly apologizes for the same mistake, but does not change their behavior, their words become meaningless. A sincere apology must be followed by a genuine effort to improve. If a friend always cancels plans but keeps apologizing without changing their actions, their apology may no longer feel sincere. Similarly, in romantic relationships, if one partner keeps breaking promises and apologizing without any change, trust can be broken. Actions must support words for an apology to be effective. Some people find it difficult to forgive, even when an apology is given. In some cases, time is needed before forgiveness can be offered. If an apology is sincere, but the hurt is deep, the person who was wronged may need space to heal. Rushing forgiveness can sometimes make things worse. It is important to allow emotions to settle before fully moving on. However, there are times when an apology is never given. Some people refuse to admit their mistakes, leaving the other person feeling hurt and frustrated. In these situations, forgiveness is still possible. Letting go of resentment does not mean accepting bad behavior, but rather choosing to move forward without allowing anger to control one's emotions. Forgiving without receiving an apology is a personal decision that brings inner peace. Apologizing and forgiveness are skills that improve over time. They help build strong relationships and create an environment of trust and understanding. Those who learn to apologize sincerely and forgive genuinely will have healthier, happier connections with others. In the end, both apologizing and forgiving are acts of kindness, not just for others, but for ourselves. A heartfelt apology can mend broken relationships, and true forgiveness can bring emotional healing. When people learn to say, "I'm sorry" with honesty, and "I forgive you" with sincerity, they build stronger connections and contribute to a more understanding and compassionate world.
The English Pod Audio Review. Listen to the meaning, then say the vocabulary word. End a relationship with someone.
Dump someone.
Hurt someone's feelings very badly. Hurt someone emotionally.
Break someone's heart.
Honest, emotional talk.
A heart-to-heart.
Former boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife.
Ex.
A person who you are in a long-term relationship with.
Partner.
Phrase used if one must talk about serious things.
Can we talk?
What stage this relationship is in.
Where this relationship is going.
Feel strong romantic affection for someone.
In love with.
Amazing, great.
Awesome.
We have experienced our happy days.
We have had our laughs.
Don't like.
Don't appreciate.
Have strong affection to someone.
Love.
Perhaps it is time for us to do something.
Maybe it is time that we.
Let's try that faster. End a relationship with someone.
Dump someone.
We have experienced our happy days.
We have had our laughs.
Former boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife.
Ex.
Phrase used if one must talk about serious things.
Can we talk?
Have strong affection to someone.
Love.
Amazing, great.
Awesome.
Feel strong romantic affection for someone.
In love with.
What stage this relationship is in.
Where this relationship is going.
A person who you are in a long-term relationship with.
Partner.
honest, emotional talk.
A heart to heart.
Don't like.
Don't appreciate.
Perhaps it is time for us to do something.
Maybe it is time that we
Hurt someone's feelings very badly. Hurt someone emotionally.
break someone's heart.
Now say the word and hear it in a sentence.
Can we talk?
I've got something really important to tell you. Can we talk?
Can we talk?
Can we talk? I think I'm in love with someone else.
Can we talk?
Can we talk? I need your help with something.
Where this relationship is going.
We fight every day. I don't know where this relationship is going.
Where this relationship is going.
Where is this movie going? I don't understand what's happening.
Where this relationship is going.
You want to do what? Where are you going with this conversation?
We have had our laughs.
College was so much fun. We definitely had our laughs.
We have had our laughs.
She has her moments, but for the most part, she's a really nice girl.
We have had our laughs.
You had your fun. Now it's time to go to sleep.
Maybe it is time that we
It's 2:00 in the afternoon. Maybe it's time we have some lunch?
Maybe it is time that we
If you're not happy at your job, maybe it's just time for you to quit.
Maybe it is time that we
Maybe it's about time you clean your room. It's so dirty. Baby, I love you so much. Where would you like to eat, sweetheart? Darling, you look absolutely beautiful.